Dental College lecturecast in dental implantology. Today our topic is the implant surgical and prosthetic kit. So first let us have a look about what is implant prosthetic components. So these are the components and let's have a talk about each and every component. Fixture mount. Fixture mount is a multifunctional post that is pre-attached to the dental implant by the manufacturer. The components are used to deliver the implant to the osteotomy. The next is the cover screw. After the placement of the implant, it will be placed either above the crest or below the crest so that the cover is placed over the top of the implant. And it seals it off from the bone and other debris during the healing and the integration period. It is mostly used in the two-stage procedures. The next is the healing cap or the healing abutment. A collar called a healing abutment is placed on the head of the implant after it is exposed. Healing abutment facilitates formation of soft tissue sulcus which eliminates needs for the stage 2 surgical procedure to uncover the implant. And these are indicated for the cases in which an abutment is needed to develop and preserve the sulcus and the papilla for 180 degrees or less. Healing abutment may be modified to meet the desired clinical shape. Next is the temporary abutment. These are used for implant-supported fixed provisional restoration after the stage 2 surgeries. It improves the tissue contour related to emergence profile and develops an interdental or an inter-implant papilla. There are two types of temporary abutments. The first is the plastic, which is a single unit or a multi-unit, and the next is the titanium, which is again a single unit or a multi-unit. At times, this single unit can be used in the form of a multi-unit also. The next is the definite abutment. These can be divided into custom-made and prefabricated. So let us have a look about the custom-made. The first one is the UCLA. It is a castable abutment, and this type of abutment is suitable for single and multiple tooth restoration. It is utilized with an indirect technique requiring accurate impression of the implant. It can be used for cement retain and screw retain restorations also. The design of the abutment allows fabrication of the restoration directly to the implant fixture. This technique is valuable because it overcomes the problem like limited interocclusal distance, interproximal distance, implant angulation and soft tissue response. Just have a look at the different types of the custom-made abutment. And this is a custom-made abutment made from titanium and zirconium. And we do have CAD-CAM milled abutments. And these are the zirconia abutments. And the next is the cast-on abutments. These are nickel and cobalt chromium free abutments. These are used when there is a deep soft tissue, specific requirement for an emergence profile and incorrectly aligned anti-rotation element. The next is the PEEK collect. This PEEK plastic device for holding zirconium oxide sleeves a component of the ceramic abutment. While they are reshaped prior to being luted to the base, this collect is secured in a universal holder. The next is a precision milled abutments. And we do have a prefabricated, which is a single unit which can be straight or angulated. And again prefabricated, which is multi-unit, which can be straight and angulated. And we have definite abutment which are removable, which can be used in the overdentures. And we can have a look at the first diagram, which is the ball abutment. The second is the bar abutment. Next is the impression coping. An impression is necessary to transfer the exact position and design of the implant body or abutment to a master cast. For this purpose, we use impression coping. It helps us to position an analog in an impression. And it is divided into indirect transfer coping or a closed tree, also referred to as transfer coping. Impression coping engages the implant through friction fit only and are picked up with the closed tree impression technique. The second is the direct transfer coping and open tray, also known as an open tray impression coping. Copings are color coded to determine the size of the platform. The next is the lab analog. Lab analog is used to the fabrication of the master cast to replicate the retentive portion of the implant body or the abutment, and this ends the implant prosthetic kit. Now let us have a look at the implant surgical kit. There are drills which are on this color coded, and the surgical drills are made of high quality stainless steel material and are externally irrigated. The recommended drill speed is 450 to 800 RPM. Slowest drilling speeds are recommended with softer bore and larger diameter. The drills commonly present in the surgical kit are pilot drill, sequential drills of diameter 3.3, 3.8, 4.5 and 5.7. So these are the drills, that is the precision drill. These are used for extremely sharp single-use drills and should never be handled manually once out of the package. They are used for marking and creating a starting point. The next is the pilot drill. The initial drill that's used when making the hole for the dental implant is called a pilot drill. This is simply a small diameter drill which the name implies is used to create a hole that serves as a guide for the other drills. The next is the sequential drills, used for harvesting autogenous bone from the osteotomy site for minimally invasive implant placement. Trephine drills come in various diameter and can be used for biopsies, harvesting or for removal of a dental implant. The next is a twist drill for preparation of the implant osteotomy. Next is the paralleling pins, used to ensure parallelism between the implants and between the implant and the tooth, and also used to check the orientation of the implant. Bone taps. Bone taps, in some clinical situations, practitioners may refer to tap dense cortical bone to ensure full and passive seating of the implant into the prepared osteotomy. Bone taps should be used at an extremely slow speed in a clockwise direction. The osteotomies. The osteotomy technique, which is a new method of placing implants into the maxillary bone without drilling, and the rationale for other two procedures, the osteotomy sinus floor elevation and the ridge expansion osteotomy. The two types of osteotomies are sharp tips, that is convex, that are used for cutting the osteotomy site before the placing of the implant, and blunt tips, that is concave, that are used for the spreading of the bone in the osteotomy site. The next is the physio-dispenser. The surgical micromotor for implantology with physio-dispenser. This provides an accurate speed control for cutter rotation to prepare the implant bed. Equipped with the autonomous system of dental drills and a facility to attach a saline solution drip, as you can have a look at the diagram. The irrigation prevents overheating during osteotomy and also helps to lubricate and clean the bone. And these are the sinus elevation diagram which I've just seen. And the next is the sinus elevation instrument. These are used for the indirect sinus lift. These are mallets. Mallets are instruments used to push the osteotomy into the osteotomy site to facilitate the distribution of the bone during procedures like sinus lift, ridge augmentation. Bone excavation trephines. These are used for the bone excavation. Countersink. The purpose of the countersink is to remove cortical bone at the ridge to facilitate pressure-free seating of the implant column, and these are usually used in D1 and D2 types. Bone spreaders. These are used in increasing diameter and are gently introduced sequentially to expand the implant site. With each insertion of a larger diameter spreader, the bone is pushed laterally. The last one is the membrane tack kit, which are used in fixating or stabilizing guided tissue regeneration membrane to the bone. These are not intended for a long-term implantation but should be removed upon completion of the healing process. By saying this, we conclude the class. Thank you.